is Newsbreak. I'm Nadia Islam.
And I'm Luke Baima. Here are today's top stories.
Tensions continue to grow between India and Pakistan after a deadly exchange of military attacks. India says it launched missile strikes targeting 9 terrorist sites in Pakistan. 26 people are killed, including a child, leaving dozens injured. This comes after last month's massacre of tourists in the Indian-controlled area of Kashmir. The region has been the site of conflict for many decades, starting in 1947. India accuses Pakistan of backing the massacre, but they have denied doing so. In a statement, Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif said Pakistan has every right to give a robust response to this act of war imposed by India, and a strong response is indeed being given. Both countries are in possession of nuclear power, and escalation could lead to large-scale casualties in the densely populated countries. President Trump said the U.S. hopes the conflict would end quickly, and he would have Marco Rubio work with both Pakistani and Indian governments towards a resolution.
All eyes are on the chimney of the Sistine Chapel. At the Vatican, 133 Roman Catholic cardinals from 71 different countries began one of the oldest and most secretive electoral processes, known as conclave, to choose a man as spiritual leader for 1.4 billion Catholics around the world. The cardinals hold conclave behind locked doors, take an oath of secrecy, and they are all banned from communicating with the outside world, meaning no phones, internet, or television. The process can take several days. The cardinals vote twice a day, except for the first day of the conclave when there is one vote. If they don't choose a successor on the first ballot, they will meet again the next day. They can take up 2 votes each morning and 2 each afternoon to receive the 2/3 majority. If no one is elected after 13 days, a runoff election will be held between the 2 leading candidates. The ballots are burned in a specially constructed fireplace after each vote. If a majority is not reached, black smoke arises from the chimney. White smoke indicates that a new pontificate has been elected.
President Trump and Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney met for the first time at the White House, and there were several taunts by President Trump about making Canada the 51st state. Carney's campaign included anti-Trump rhetoric and promises to defend Canada from President Trump.
As you know from real estate, there are some places that are never for sale.
That's true.
We're sitting in one right now, and having met with the owners of Canada over the course of the campaign last several months, it's not for sale, won't be for sale ever.
During Carney's visit to Washington yesterday, President Trump emphasized that the United States would not be backing down on tariffs, which includes a 25% levy on Canadian products like steel, aluminum, and auto parts.
Is there anything he could say to you in the course of your meetings with him today that would get you to lift tariffs on Canada?
No.
Why not?
Just the way it is. We want to make our own cars. We don't really want cars from Canada. We really don't want Canadian steel, and we don't want Canadian aluminum and various other things because we want to be able to do it ourselves.
Carney, who recently won the election, tried to persuade Trump that Canada is crucial to the U.S. as one of the biggest trading partners, but President Trump signaled that he will take a hard line on trade deals.
Music mogul Sean Diddy Combs, accused of sexual assault and sex trafficking, is standing trial in New York City this week. The high-profile case began on Monday with a jury selection. The disgraced entertainment superstar faces 5 charges, including sex trafficking, racketeering conspiracy, and prostitute transportation. Combs has pled not guilty to all charges. However, prosecutors claim Combs is guilty of running a decades-long scheme of abuse by drugging his alleged victims and forcing them to engage in sexual acts. Key testimony will come from the singer's former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, who was assaulted on camera by Combs. The trial is expected to last 8 weeks. Now, shifting from the courtroom to the court, let's swing you over to Jake Aricchio with sports. Jake, what's going on?
Well, Luke, starting on the hardwood, the NBA playoffs, they're in full force, and upsets remained the name of the game yesterday. The Indiana Pacers once again stunned the top-seeded Cleveland Cavaliers with a come-from-behind victory. Tyrese Halliburton hit the game-winning three-pointer with seconds to go and finished with 19 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists in the Game 2 win. Meanwhile, the Cavs wasted a 48-point effort from Donovan Mitchell and will travel to Indianapolis down 2-0 in the series. The nightcap saw the Golden State Warriors take down the Minnesota Timberwolves in their series opener. Despite Steph Curry leaving the game early, Jimmy Butler posted a near triple-double to lead the Dubs to a win on the road. This year's second round is historic, as for the first time in NBA history, all 4 lower-seeded teams won their Game 1s on the road, with both the Knicks and Nuggets stealing overtime wins on the road in Boston and Oklahoma City, respectively. The playoffs continue tonight with Game 2 between the Knicks and Celtics, along with the Nuggets and Thunder. Shifting to the gridiron, we have a trade to announce. The Pittsburgh Steelers have traded wide receiver George Pickens to the Dallas Cowboys in exchange for future draft picks. Dallas pairs the talented wideout with CeeDee Lamb to form a potentially dangerous wide receiver room. Despite character concerns, Pickens is considered a high-potential receiver. The 6'3" Georgia alum reached the 1,000-yard mark in his second season, averaging nearly 16 yards per reception in 2024. For Pittsburgh, it offers a reset at the position. With the freshly acquired DK Metcalf in tow, the Steelers have a new foundation at wideout and will likely look to add receiver help for the upcoming season elsewhere. Unfortunately, we don't have time to cover all the happenings on the baseball diamond yesterday, but 2 ball clubs in particular put on a show. Starting in the Bronx, the Yankees romped the San Diego Padres 12-3 yesterday. The game turned on a 10-run, yes, 10-run bottom of the 7th for New York. Catcher Austin Wells tallied 5 RBIs in the win, including his first career grand slam. The 10-run 7th is the most runs the Yanks have scored in an inning since 2015, when 11 came home against the Texas Rangers. The victory increases New York's AL East division lead to 2.5 games, while the Padres move to half a game behind the Dodgers and 1 game ahead of the Giants in the National League West. Speaking of the Giants, San Fran outlasted the Cubs with a 14-5 win at Wrigley Field in Chicago. The Giants ended the night with 9 runs crossing the plate in the top of the 11th inning. The onslaught marks the highest scoring extra inning in Wrigley Field's long history, surpassing a mark set by the then New York Giants back in 1921. Breakout star Jung-Hoo Lee finished the game going 3 for 6, tallying 3 runs batted in, including a home run in the 3rd. In a tight NL West, every win matters for the Giants as they look to catch the Dodgers and Padres in the race for the division lead. For the Cubs, the loss decreases their standing in the National League Central, dropping their lead to 3 games over the Milwaukee Brewers. That'll be all for sports. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks for that, Jake. And Nadia, it's our last installment of the semester. How are you feeling? You excited for summer?
I'm feeling great. Yeah, I'm very excited. Thank you for tuning in to our last newscast of the spring semester. I'm Nadia Islam.
And I'm Luke Baima. Thanks for watching.